Hello, everyone. A very good evening to you all. I am Ella, welcoming you all on behalf of Solar Quarter and the First View Group to the Digital Roundtable Advancing the CNI Solar Sector in Uzbekistan webinar. Before we proceed further, I would like to thank our panel members for their immense support to organize this event and extend my heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors, Jinko Solar and Sungro, for being our crusaders and making this event possible. Their commitment to promoting sustainable energy solutions is truly commendable. Thank you all for joining us from around the world to delve into the current and future landscape of the CNI solar sector in Uzbekistan. I would now request my team to play the commercial video for Jinko Solar. Thank you, team. May I now introduce Mr. Kazim Khan Amangliev, Technical Manager, Central Asia, Jinko Solar, to give the presentation for his company. Over to you, Mr. Amangliev.
Okay. Thank you, Ella. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar. Let me launch my presentation now. So can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, we can see a screen.
Yeah, my name is... switch to Russian, sorry. Приветствую всех посетителей вебинара. Меня зовут Кожумхан Амангалиев, являюсь техническим менеджером компании Jinko Solar по Центральной Азии. И сегодня хотел бы вам представить технологии PV и также систему хранения и накопления электроэнергии. Вкратце, компания Jinko Solar является производителем солнечных панелей и на самом деле последние 4 года занимает первое место по отгрузкам, поставленные на момент первого квартала текущего года 150 гигаватт, что является показателем номер один, занимает 15% долю рынка по миру на состояние конец 2022 года. Благодаря R&D департаменту мы держим 22 рекорда на данный момент. И чуть позже объясню разницу между P и N-type панелями. Компания Jinko Solar является крупнейшим производителем панелей N-type. Это последняя технология на сегодняшний день, и мощности на данный момент составляют 40 гигаватт. Так, вкратце, по эффективности N-type и P-type панелей и вообще в целом для чего нужен вот этот переход и исследования в области эффективности и технологий производства панелей. На самом деле эффективность P-type панелей, это стандартные PERC-панели, которые всем знакомы на сегодняшний день, они уже достигли своего и теоретического, и массового производства, потолка массового производства, что составляет порядка 23%. И рынок, он должен постоянно совершенствоваться, постоянно производятся какие-то исследования в области ячеек. И на данный момент N-type панели, N-типа, они позволяют повысить эффективность до 28,7%. Это эффективность, которая была достигнута в лабораторных условиях на сегодняшний день. Но в масс-производстве это порядка 25,4%. Линейка N-Type серии содержит панели ячейки 78, количество ячеек 72, и новая линейка доступна будет уже в следующем квартале этого года 66 ячеек. Вкратце начну с самой маленькой. Она больше предназначена для домашних станций, так как меньше размер позволяет сконфигурировать систему на крыше, обойти там дымоходы, какие-то окна. И мощность ее порядка, максимальная мощность 480 Вт. Следующая по возрастанию идет панель 72 ячейки, максимальной мощностью до 590-585 Вт. Это все N-Type панели. Здесь максимальная эффективность порядка 22,8%. И разница между маркировки панели, в одной вы можете видеть дополнительное обозначение PDV. Это обозначает, что панель двухсторонняя и позволяет генерировать больше электричества за счет того, что с задней стороны панели также улавливается изоляция. Коммерческие панели представлены панелями 78 ячеек. Они все у нас являются bifacial, то есть двухсторонние панели, стекло с обоих сторон. Максимальной мощности до 630 Вт. Эффективность тоже 22,5-23%. Размер панели немножко больше за счет того, что чуть больше ячеек добавлено. Вот панель 778 HL 4 BDV. И вот, как я упоминал, новая линейка 66 ячеек, это новый продукт. Для чего он сделан? Он позволяет в меньшем форм-факторе достигнуть большей производительности панели. То есть, как видите, здесь размер панели 2382 или 2382 мм на 1134. Практически то же самое, что и панели 575-590 Вт. Но благодаря технологиям получилось получить добавленную мощность до 520 Вт. Вот линейка Jinko Solar позволяет использовать панели во всех сценариях, то есть это домашние системы, коммерческие, также и масштабные станции. Поговорим про технические преимущества. Технические и экономические преимущества, это вот то, что для чего вообще производятся исследования в области ячеек. Первое экономическое преимущество – это более высокая мощность. в N-тип панели в сравнении с P-типом до 3%, что в свою очередь позволяет снизить стоимость всей системы, то есть смета на субстанцию становится ниже, порядка до 1%. И также это влияет на нормируемую стоимость электроэнергии, то есть стоимость киловатт-часа, генерируемой в вашей станции, будет на порядка 4% ниже в сравнении с P-типом панели. Все это, естественно, достигается за счет технологических усовершенствований. И представлен список, далее поговорим подробно о каждом из них. Это улучшенная гарантия деградации, то есть линейная деградация панелей, растянутая до 30 лет. Более высокий коэффициент bifacial генерации, больше улавливается света с обратной стороны панели. Очень важный параметр — температурный коэффициент, который также стал ниже. Это значит, что при более высоких температурах потери панели будут меньше и более повышенная надежность. Поговорим более подробно. Если стандартная по типу панели вы видите вот отмечены белым, во-первых, они первый год работы теряют 1%, более 1% за первый год работы только. N-тип панели позволяют снизить потери в первый год работы до менее 1%. И также увеличенная гарантия на линейное снижение мощности. То есть N-тип панели гарантирует завод, что в течение 30 лет остаточная производительность будет на уровне 87,4%, в то время как стандартные P-тип панели дают гарантию до 25 лет и остаточная мощность около 85%. Bifacial генерация, напомню, это bifacial панели, это панели, которые с одной стороны установлены стекло стандартное, и с обратной стороны также стекло, взамен белой пленки, которую вы могли видеть раньше. То есть это позволяет при установке солнечной электростанции улавливать свет не только с фронтальной стороны, но также отраженный свет от соседнего ряда, от грунта, рассеянный свет. И здесь в N-тип панелях он порядка на 10% выше, чем в P-тип панелях, что влияет на прирост мощности около 2%. Вот на данном слайде приведены в целом преимущества продукта N-типа. Зеленым обозначены N-тип панели, синим P-тип. Это взято одинаковый форм-фактор ячеек 182 мм. И если идти по порядку, вот ниже температурный коэффициент, то есть если в P-тип панелях он составлял 0,35% на градус температуры, то есть с ростом температуры терялся порядка 0,35% мощности, то в N-тип панелях он снижен до 0,30, то есть 0,05% удалось сохранить. Деградация панели и повышенная надежность, как упоминалось раньше, если P-тип панели теряют в первый год 2% и дальше линейное снижение мощности составляет около 0,55%, то топ-кон N-тип панели, здесь он в первый год теряется 1% и дальше порядка 0,4%, 0,4% в течение 30 лет. Опять же, улучшенный bifacial фактор 80% против 70%. И более высокая эффективность за счет э, плотности энергии и мощности. Что это значит? То есть на ту же площадь панели вырабатывается большая мощность в единицу времени и больше генерации за определенный период времени. Это немного про глобальные проекты и кейсы. Как я упоминал ранее, Jinko Solar является пионером в области MTIP панелей. В данный момент коллеги по цеху, если они только-только начинают производство попкорн и антип-панель — это одно и то же, то Jinko Solar уже имеет большое количество проектов, которые можно взять в качестве референса взять на доработки и, в принципе, использовать, да, вот в презентациях, потому что это живые кейсы, существующие проекты. Они у нас установлены в разных типах климата, на разных объектах и с разными видами панелей, с разными типами модулей. К примеру, вот первый кейс, это установлено в Саудовской Аравии, панель Tiger Neo, 72 ячейки. Э, Здесь стоит упомянуть, что это исследование, замеры были проведены независимой организацией, учреждением TÜV Rheinland, я думаю, вы в курсе. Слева приведены некоторые параметры, да, это фиксированная конструкция, э, почва и тропический пустынный климат. То есть в Саудовской Аравии, как вы знаете, да, высокие температуры и ну, в то же время высокая радиация. И здесь, благодаря вышеупомянутым преимуществам, и в частности, один из крупных факторов– это температурный коэффициент, удалось достигнуть прироста мощности порядка 5,6-5,57% в сравнении с P-тип панелями. Данный кейс в Малайзии, то же самое учреждение TÜV Rheinland производило замеры. А, Здесь у нас был прирост порядка 5,54%. Как видите, здесь уже поверхность другая, это крышная установка, получается плоская крыша, установлена на цементном основании. Проект в Китае, CIS, это еще одно учреждение, проект установлен в Нинбо, провинции. Здесь уже трекинговая установка, одноосная трекинговая установка, тип грунта белая краска. Здесь удалось достигнуть прироста мощности 4,5%. Также станция в Китае, рост 4%. Одна установка. Но здесь уже немножко другой кейс. Трекер двухосный и прирост мощности модуля 5,46%. То есть в целом, как видите, приведены максимально разные кейсы, разные виды поверхности грунта установлены, разные способы установки, это и фиксированные, и крышные, и трекинговые установки. Вкратце про, про механическую совместимость с разными способами установки модулей. Компания Jinko Solar совместима, панели компании совместимы полностью с основными производителями фиксированных конструкций. Их можно крепить как и на прижимы, так и в специальные отверстия, установленные в алюминиевой раме. Также совместимы с основными производителями трекинговых систем, таких как Nextracker, Soltec, Arctec. Совместимы также со всеми крупными игроками в области производителей инверторов. Пару слов про наш новый продукт, система накопления электроэнергии. Линейка представлена домашними, коммерческими и масштабными промышленными системами хранения. Основное преимущество заключается, опять же, в Research and Development компании Jinko Solar. Здесь получилось достигнуть больших показателей хранения электроэнергии или снизить стоимость LCOC, это нормализованная, нормированная стоимость хранения электроэнергии. Аналогичный показатель, как за генерацией, но здесь в этом случае хранение. Благодаря инновационному дизайну получилось снизить его на 20%. В Сантера используется жидкостное охлаждение, что, соответственно, позволяет достигнуть снижения разницы температур. Как вы знаете, ячейки аккумуляторные, они не любят горячий воздух, да, окружающей среды. На этом у меня все. Если есть вопросы в Q&A и после презентации, после второй презентации, готов буду ответить. Спасибо. Anna, you can continue.
All right, thank you very much, Kazim. This is Ola Hassan from Sangro team. So I'm going to proceed with my presentation. If you do have any questions, please feel free to add it to the questions and answers session.
Ola, people are requesting, for the presentation to be made partly in English. So can you accommodate
Yes,
the request, please?
I see that, yes. Shahbuz, I
Yeah,
believe my colleague Shahbuz is here. Yes, he can proceed in English as well.
sure.
So
Thank you.
first we will start with with Sangro video. Please put it on Ahla.
It begins with a burst of sunlight, illuminating the opportunities of today's world. We harmonize with the symphony of energy transition, whether realizing a distant dream or succeeding beyond our grasp. The sun continues to guide us in our commitment to clean energy conversion, determination to discover new frontiers. We continue exploring, move beyond boundaries. Perfecting even the smallest details in the pursuit of excellence. We endeavor to increase our merit, to be more reliable, more efficient, and create prosperity. We continue delivering upon our core values: honest and reliable, excellent and open-minded, innovative and respectful, and customer first. Building more lucrative, healthier, and smarter solutions. To pave the way for a greener future. Sungrow, clean power for all.
Ma nem mogę można.
So, hello, do you hear me?
Hi everyone, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to share my screen with someone again. Do you see my screen? No, I guess, right? It's coming, uploading. Hello, Ola, I think it's better maybe you continue now and I will catch up later because it's somehow technical issues again dominating here. Do you hear me?
Hello, apologies for that. I had some technical issues. May I now invite Ms. Ola Hassan, Distribution and Solutions Manager, and Mr. Shahbaz Ahmedov, Country Manager, Uzbekistan Sun Group, to give the presentation for their company.
Ola, can you try sharing the screen?
Miss Ola, if you could share your screen and put on the presentation. I believe there's some error, technical error happening on Miss Ola's side.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen now.
Sure.
All right. Can everyone see it clearly?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. My name is Ola Hassan and my colleague Shahbuz Ahmedov. So he's the country manager for Uzbekistan, and I'm the distribution solutions manager for MENA and Central Asia as well. So today's presentation will be about the CNI PV solutions. First, I'll go quickly with our company culture. Then I'm going to introduce the CNI generation of PV inverters. And I'm also going to cover collaborations and reference projects together with Sungro and Jinko. So Sungro was founded in 1997. We have more than 10,000 staff, and we implement more than 40% into our research and development. We are the top 100 in the top 100 global new energy leaders, and we have the top 50 title in the most innovative companies in Forbes China. So we have 5 fields and 10 businesses. Of course, our core business is the PV inverters. We also have wind power converters. We have energy storage systems, charging equipments, which is the EV chargers, hydrogen production systems, floating PV systems, NEV driving systems, renewable energy and investment development business, as well as cleaning robots and smart operation and maintenance. So we are having more than 66.8% yearly, year-on-year growth. Our revenue for 2022 was almost $6 billion. We are the most bankable inverter brand worldwide with 100% bankability for the last consecutive 4 years. Our global presence is in more than 150 plus countries. We have more than 20 subsidiaries and more than 370 service outlets. Global manufacturing capacity is more than 305 gigawatts, and with 25 gigawatt overseas capacities. So we have 3 factories, one in India, we have our headquarters factory in China, and then we have also Thailand factory. As I mentioned, more than 40% in our total employees number are implemented into our research and development. So we have more than 50 plus important national standards complied by us, more than 20 plus national science projects, and 5,300 patents. And as you can see, these are our R&D centers in Khifi, in Shanghai, Nanjing, Shenzhen, Germany, and Netherlands. We have more than 340 gigawatts of inverters and converters installed by 2022, and our global shipment has reached to 77 gigawatts. So we are the #1 PV inverters global shipment. 30% of our shipment goes to the Americas, 30% to Europe, 58% to Middle East and Africa, 30% in China, and 26% in Asia Pacific. So our vision as solution providers is to provide stable and reliable clean power through highly integrated power electronics with renewable energy generation and energy storage to build a zero carbon world for all. Going to my presentation, I'm going to introduce our next generation of CNI solutions and CNI PV inverters. So I'm introducing our new CXP2 inverters, which were newly launched this year. We have capacities starting from 25 kilowatt up to 125 kilowatt. So these are our low voltage inverters operating up to 400 volts of three-phase grid connection. And as you can see, we're starting from a very low capacity, and that to meet the market demand on the market requirements. So using our commercial and industrial range of our inverters, you will achieve higher revenue on generating capacity. We have implemented up to 15 ampere MPPT current per PV string. We have a wider MPPT voltage window. We have a high DC over AC ratio, global MPPT scanning, PID recovery. So supporting the 15 ampere current in a single string, as we know that the panels technology is always evolving. So now the mainstream of the panels in the market is exceeding 500 watts. So that means that the current can also exceed 13 ampere. So we have developed this new product range to achieve up to 15 ampere maximum input current from the PV modules. So in case you are exceeding the 13 ampere, which is most of the case happening right now with a commercial range of panels, previously, our previous inverters were limited to 13 ampere. Extra current used to be clipped, but now you can achieve up to 15 ampere. We are also supporting the high current modules up to 30 ampere per MPPT. So even if you are using high current modules, we can advise you to use one string and connect it to one MPPT. The second point is about the wide MPPT voltage window. So we have increased our voltage window. That means that the inverter can start generating power at earlier sun hours at lower voltage. So this increases your overall daily generation capacity under the same conditions. We also have high DC over AC ratio. So we as Sungro comply with up to 1.5 DC over AC ratio, which you can reach the rated power output state earlier and maintain the state of a longer period of time. Of course, as long as you are maintaining the voltage and current according to the MPPT requirements. We also have upgraded our MPPT scanning algorithm. So as we can see in the first graph, this is a typical ideal PV curve without shading. In case of shading, the PV curve will change actually. So you might end up with multiple peaks due to the shading in some of the strings. The traditional way of how the MPPT actually tracks the maximum power point, it's called the 3 points comparison. The MPPT is limited, and this is the traditional algorithm in the market, was limited to 3 points only. So it's able to detect 3 points of power and optimize the output according to it. So this actually means that the MPPT scanning capability is limited. So actually, in case P1, as you can see here, is the highest among the 3 points detected, so the full string output will be optimized according to P1. But because we're limited to only 3 points, we are not able to scan the rest of the curve and detect if there are higher points. But now with our new CXP2 inverters, we have the PowerMax global scanning algorithm. So our MPPTs are able to scan the full curve and maximize the output according to the highest point. PID recovery. So PID recovery stands for potential induced degradation. And this degradation is happening due to the voltage. So in the very highly humid areas, the water will be condensed on the surface of the solar panel. After that, this will cause the negative potential. So we have two poles, positive and negative. The negative voltage will be actually very high. So this will cause the negative voltage actually between the negative pole and the potential will be very high. So this will affect on the quality of the DC power generated. So what our inverter does actually, during the nighttime, it will try to recover this. So during the nighttime, when the inverter is not generating, which is not operating, the inverter is able to recover the power output and to inject a positive voltage to reduce these losses. The second point actually we're having is the intelligent reactive power compensation. So our inverters are really smart to the extent that they are able to monitor the reactive power requirement on the AC grid connection point. So if there is any reactive power being consumed, our inverter is able to monitor it and able to generate reactive power to compensate these losses in order not to reduce the power factor or the power quality of the AC output. So with our CXP2, we have a quick response time within less than 100 milliseconds. And this will provide you with less cost because there's no need for any external reactive power compensation devices. Moving now to the safety protection features. We are having integrated AFCI detection function. We are having Surge Pro triple lightning protection built in the inverter. We have EMC Class B, C5 anti-corrosion, IP66 waterproof and dustproof. Apologies, there's a typo here. So here there is the AFCI detection function. AFCI stands for arc fault circuit interrupter. So mainly the arc happens due to poor quality of connection, whether from the connector side, whether from the cable quality, whether through the actual connection, that the cables are not tightened well. So this will create an electrical spark. We call it arc, which is an electrical discharge. If it was not managed and stopped in the right time, it can create possible fire risk. So we have 3 levels of detection determination. So our inverter is able to detect on 3 levels. If it was confirmed that there's arc, the inverter will automatically perform a rapid shutdown within less than 300 milliseconds. So we are falling under the UL 1699B safety standards. We have also Surge Pro triple lightning protection. So we have DC SPDs on the DC side and on the AC side. We have 1 SPD on each MPPT for higher protection. We have type 1+2 DC SPD, which has higher accuracy and sensitivity to capture the current, that is the harmful current that is coming from the lightning. So it will stop it immediately and absorb it. So it will not damage the inverter. Same is happening from the AC side as well. We are having Class B radiation and conduction. So as we know that the inverter is an electronic device, consists of multiple microelectronics inside. So during the operation, there will be electromagnetic radiation. However, we are certified as Class B, which is lower than even the home appliances in terms of radiation. That means our inverters are safe to be installed indoors and outdoors. So this is an anti-electromagnetic interference ability. So it's bidirectional. The inverter is not harming any surrounding applications or appliances, and it's also not being harmed or affected by any surrounding appliances. Also, we are having C5 anti-corrosion, IP66 waterproof and dustproof. That means that the inverters are protected against highly humid situations and weather conditions. So we are protected against high temperature, high humidity, salinity, and pollution. We're also IP66 rated. That means that the inverter is protected against strong jets of water and dust as well. So it's very suitable for outdoors installation. Convenient installation. Our inverter's design is highly integrated. We have plug-and-play buckle design for the AC terminals up to 50 kilowatt, patent design of an AC box, and flexible mounting for our customers. Our inverters up to 50 kilowatts, actually, having the same platform design with other products, are 30% less in weight and dimensions. Our products are coming with handles on both sides for easy lifting, and the products can be assembled by one person up to 50 kilowatts. We have a plug and play buckle design, as you can see here. So for easy termination of AC cables, there is no opening of the inverter. There is no separate AC compartment. You can assemble and deassemble the AC terminals with drawing and pulling only. We have a patent design also for an AC box to make our customers' experience in terms of operation and maintenance easier. So it minimizes the impact of assembly and service or relocation. We have drop resistant screws, so nothing will be lost on site. We have a separate AC cabinet that is IP66 rated. We have limit rod against the door. We also have drawer style sealing plates, reducing the operation time by almost 30%. This is for our 125 CXP2 inverter, which is our largest capacity for the low voltage inverters. We have flexible mounting and support for horizontal assembly. So our inverters can be installed vertically and can also be installed horizontally. They can be installed horizontally backwards with a tilt degree not less than 10 degrees. So this facilitates the assembly and also reduces the shading on the PV modules approximately by more than 0.2% according to our case study. And this is mostly used in case of floating systems requirements. Intelligent operation and maintenance. Using Sungraph solutions, you can have up to 24/7 monitoring. You can perform remote operation and maintenance. You have fault recorder functions. You have smart IV curve diagnosis and live data refreshing every 10 seconds. So you can perform remote operation and maintenance using our iSolar Cloud platform. So we have a dedicated platform. You can create your user account free of charge for all of our customers. You can create multiple plans under one user, and you can actually operate remotely, and you can upgrade your system firmwares and do partial troubleshooting online. We also have the fault recorder function. So this will actually support the operation and maintenance personnel to quickly identify if the fault is happening from the grid side or is it happening from the product side. So such examples, the grid over voltage, grid under voltage, is obviously a fault happening from the grid side, and the inverter will return to normal operation once the grid parameters are back to normal. And we also have leakage current fault. So this is obviously due to improper earthing. So this fault is happening from the inverter side. We are also able to provide what kind of reason is happening, is making actually this kind of fault or error, and we are able to give corrective measures using the online iSolar Cloud platform. We have the smart IV curve diagnosis. So this is an artificial intelligent database and data comparison function. So you are able to perform remotely IV curve diagnosis to check the health of your DC system. So we are able to detect up to 17 type of faults, and some kind of faults, for example, glass breakage, cable disconnection, there's shading happening. So all of that can be detected with a smart IV curve diagnosis remotely without the conventional method of sending technicians or service specialists to site. We have accuracy more than 95%. And this has been tested and verified by TUV. Live data refresh in seconds. So we have also upgraded our monitoring methodology. So previously we used to have the data refreshed every 5 minutes, but now it's every 10 seconds. That means the operation and maintenance or service personnel can quickly and accurately identify if there is any transient changes in the system and quickly rectify them. So by this, I have completed the highlights and the features of our CNI solutions. Now I will move to project references between Sangro and Jinko. So we have had many and multiple successful project references and project cases using our CNI products. So here we have Dana Steel Factory. It's 1 megawatt commercial rooftop. It's a steel factory in Dubai. So we have 1,005 kilowatt in total, and we have the AC capacity 880. So 8 units of our SG110CX, which was our previous commercial inverters, are used here, and we are using Jinko JKM 545M-72HL4V modules. The plant is currently operational since last year. We have another plant here. So this is Geoscience Technical Lab. It's a technical laboratory here in UAE, Dubai, in Sheikh Shuaib Industrial Area. So this is a 440 kilowatt peak DC system, and we have 385 kilowatt AC system. So we are using Sangro SG110CX inverters, 3 units and 1 unit of SG50CX. And we are also using Jinko JKM 470M-7RL3 modules. So definitely when we are providing the solution, we are always looking at the compatibility between the solar panels provider and the inverter type and model. So this mainly we look at the maximum output current of the panel, the IMP and the I short circuit. We also look at the voltage output of the solar module. We also look at the design parameters and the location of the project and compare it to our inverter's input characteristics. Thank you very much for your time. And by this, I have completed my presentation. Now we will move, I believe, to our panelist discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hassan, for that highly informative presentation. Here I would like to make a small announcement. Attendees can post their questions in the Q&A box, and our speakers will answer those questions at the end of the panel discussion. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce you to our esteemed panel of speakers for today. We have Mr. Elmurad Abdullayev, General Manager, Sun High Tech LLC, Mr. Kazim Khan Amangliev, Technical Manager, Central Asia, Jinko Solar, Ms. Ola Hassan, Distribution Solutions Manager, MENA and CA Sangro, Mr. Simrat Idrisov, Director, Suventus Energy, and Mr. Kareem Megherbi, Director, Transaction Advisory, DII Desert Energy. Mr. Kareem Megherbi, the Director, Transaction Advisory of DII Desert Energy, will be the moderator for the session. Over to you, Mr. Kareem.
Thank you very much. Very nice for your kind introduction, and thanks to everyone for being here, and great presentation. I really enjoyed that. So let me do, I propose to, I mean, we have heard about the introduction about the two person who made the presentation, but I would love to hear, a more detailed presentation about, the others, your company, what you are doing, and why, what are you exactly doing in Uzbekistan, okay? And then we have prepared a few questions and we can interact, so anyone can, jump into the conversation if you want to add something, etc. So I will just call your name, but if anyone wants to react, please do so. Before going into the presentation, just a quick introduction about Uzbekistan, and maybe I put together the context. So Uzbekistan came late actually in the renewable energy in Central Asia somehow, because Kazakhstan was very dynamic country, but it came late, but very big, and actually not that late compared to other countries. So when you see the energy mix today, which is mostly based on gas and old power plants, by the way, they're getting older, and hydro, then a little bit of coal, then you know that the energy transition is still very far, actually, very far away. And that's why, then the country started to accelerate in renewable energy. But that's not the only reason. It's also because the prices that they got was very, very, very competitive. And you have probably one of the most comprehensive framework in Uzbekistan, because you do have solar, wind programs backed by the DFIs, bilateral negotiations with very strong investors and developers, but also at the same time there is a discussion and there are studies about having a larger regional grid financed by Asian Development Bank. And so the idea of connecting different countries and sharing hydro between different countries and also having interconnection, etc., is there. So there's a kind of regional move, right, towards having a greener and I guess more sustainable energy mix, because gas at the end of the day, although the reserves are very big, there will be an end to that. And anyway, IPCC said that now with emissions, that we need to cut these emissions, so depending on the country, between 2050 and 2017. So that being said, the country has also, big industries. Actually, it's agriculture and industry. So there's a lot to do actually in the decarbonization, mining, transportation, agriculture, processes and so on. So that there's a lot of things to do, and decarbonizing the energy mix, the electricity mix is not enough. We need to also decarbonize the energy mix, and therefore electrification will play a big role. And today, I don't know where is Uzbekistan here. Now, to go to the CNI, the issue with CNI, from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you, is that, well, that's all great, this big picture, but ultimately, CNI, it's about two things. One is, having rooftops, etc. And so here, let's see, if because when you're connected to the grid, the electricity price is very low at the end of the day. So can we compete against that? And is there a regulatory framework in place for that? That's number one. And number two, ultimately, CNI will go together with the electrification of the mining sector, electrification of agriculture, and so on. So you need to have strong policies, again, for that. So where are we in terms of electrification, and which industries actually are interested in the CNI and in looking at options from solar? I would love to hear from you. So that's the context. So if you can, so just I will name you in the order I see. Let me check. Ola, so you're the first one, but I think you did already the presentation. So I think you can say a few words, just to maybe a few words about Sungro, but then I will switch to.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Karim. So as I mentioned, I'm Ola from Sungro, Distribution Solutions Manager. So mainly handling the CNI solutions. And absolutely, you're right about Uzbekistan. It's a very fast-growing country in terms of the electrification and the renewable energy transition right now. But there are multiple challenges that will face the energy transition. And I think, Kareem, one of the main challenges that will be facing us for the first stage or phase, that the grid currently is unstable, so there are frequent outages. But yet Uzbekistan have a huge vision for the renewable energy transition. So I think injecting large volumes or large amount of renewable energy to the grid might cause some voltage and frequency fluctuations according to the current situation of the grid. However, I've read that Uzbekistan government, I'm sure they're doing great job on it. So they're doing studies right now to improve the quality of the grid, to improve the quality and the strength of the grid. And the second thing, the challenges that is facing the CNI market especially, I believe it's a bit different for the utility, but for the CNI market, that since it's still maturing, the market's still maturing, so the idea of solar and the feasibility, it's still new to too many people. So if we talk about the CNI sector specifically, or private business owners or buildings owners, it's a challenge to create the awareness about the solar. So it will take some time. So the acceptance of solar or renewable energy in general, the transition can be challenging at the very first beginning, because a lot of people, they still are not aware about the feasibility and return on investment in terms of renewable energy and investing in it. So that's the second challenge, actually. And the third challenge is to have a set regulation for solar. So definitely, I believe this should be the second stage, to have a set regulation specifications that should be standardized and unified for everyone entering the solar market. So this should be making it easier for either the end users, the EPCs, and the manufacturers as well. Yes, so this is from my side.
Cool. Thank you, Ola. El Murad, please. So if you can introduce yourself and your company and what you're doing in Uzbekistan.
Hello, Mr. Karim.
Hi.
I am Mr. Elmurad Abdullayev, founder of Sun High Tech company. I want to present about our company and English and Uzbek language.
Thanks.
Sun High Tech LLC is one of the largest company in the Republic of Uzbekistan to operate in the PV projects industry since its establishment in 2020. Our company provides the solar energy market of Uzbekistan with the equipment supply, photovoltaic power stations design, its construction, installation and assembling works, project maintenance. Upon completion, our business covers the development of PV power plants, system solutions design, technical transformation for PV power plants, intelligent operations. It has completed more than 5,000 projects all over Uzbekistan and total installed capacity of more than 50 megawatt. It's all of the rooftop projects. Sun High Tech guarantees high quality of implemented projects and bears full responsibility for the system operation. Sun High Tech has been awarded the certificate of in recognition of the organization quality management system and environmental management system and recognition of the organization's occupational health and safety management systems international certificates. Sun High Tech has established close cooperation with the world leaders in the production of solar modules, inverters, and equipment for the provision of the renewable energy market with high-quality solar panels and equipment. In early this year, a memorandum of cooperation and partnership was signed with Jinko Solar, under which about 20 megawatt of solar modules are purchased and imported to Uzbekistan on a monthly basis. In July this year, another partnership agreement was signed with Sungrow Power Supply, under which high-quality solar inverters and components are purchased. The channel partnership agreement was concluded between Sungrow and Get Green Energy Trade. Get Green Energy Trade was founded by Sun High-Tech as a wholesale distributor company. Providing green energy would not be possible without the work of our fully licensed and professional qualified solar experts. Our team is lateral thinkers and motivated those who continuously move forward the technical development in the solar energy sector and set new ascent and trend with their innovative ideas and solutions. Sun High-Tech employs more than 700 specialists. Currently, our company has sufficient capability to install PV power stations, about 5 megawatt months each region. The cumulative installation capacity is exceeding of 100 megawatt months across Uzbekistan. First, I told about our company finished more than 5,000 small projects. It is from 5 kilowatt until 1 megawatt, all of the rooftop projects. One of these, we installed Cabinet of Ministers of Republic of Uzbekistan, 630 kilowatt PV station. Uzbekistan Timur Yolları, it is Uzbekistan Railways for main office, installed more than 600 kilowatt. Uzkimyosanoat joint stock company, 200 kilowatt. Department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs in Tashkent City, 75 kilowatt. But in this year, we signed contract with the Ministry of Internal for install 10 megawatt for all regions for offices in the located all of the regions in Uzbekistan. Department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Republic of Uzbekistan in Navoiy, Namangan State University, Andijan State Medical Institute, Fergana State University, Department of the General Prosecutor's Office of the Republic of Uzbekistan in Bukhara, Management of the State Customs Committee for the Republic of Karagal, Pakistan, and others. And let me introduce about our company in Uzbek language also, about 1 minute. Assalomu alaykum barchaga. Bizning korxonamiz O'zbekistonda quyosh panellari va quyosh stansiyalarini loyihalash, o'rnatish va texnik xizmat ko'rsatish bilan shug'ullanadi. 2020-yilda tashkil qilingan bo'lsa, hozirgacha 5000 dan ortiq umumiy quvvati 50 megawattga yaqin quyosh stansiyalarini o'rnatganmiz. Ushbu sohada 2010-yildan beri faoliyat olib borayotgan bo'lsak, bu kompaniya 2020-yil tashkil qilgan bo'lsa-da, biz 2010-yildan beri ushbu sohada faoliyat olib boramiz. Uzoq yillik tajribamizga asosan bugungi kunda O'zbekistonda ushbu sohani keng rivojlanayotganini hisobga olib, O'zbekistonda o'rnatilayotgan quyosh stansiyalarini sifatini yanada oshirish, dunyo darajasida yetkazish maqsadida biz mировой ushbu sohadagi dunyo tajribasida yuqori o'rinda turadigan kompaniyalar bilan hamkorlik qilish bo'yicha maqsad qildik o'z oldimizga. Shulardan biri Jinko kompaniyasi bilan bu yil shartnoma qilgan bo'lsak, quyosh panellarini yetkazish bo'yicha. Hozirgi kunda Jinko kompaniyasi barchamizga ma'lum, dunyoda birinchi o'rinda turadi. Oxirgi 4 yillikda ayniqsa quyosh panellarini postavka qilish bo'yicha va eng zamonaviy quyosh panellarini ayniqsa shu N tipdagi topqon so'li quyosh elementlaridan ishlab chiqilgan quyosh panellarini ishlab chiqarish bo'yicha ham yetakchi kompaniyalardan biri hisoblanadi. Shuning uchun hamkorligimizni quyosh panellari yetkazib berish bo'yicha Jinko kompaniyasi bilan boshlaganmiz. Invertorlar bo'yicha esa aytib o'tdim, 5000 dan ortiq stansiyalar o'rnatgan bo'lsak, biz top 10 kompaniyalarni invertorlarni sinovdan o'tkazdik va ishonchliligi va sifati bo'yicha Sungrow kompaniyasini tanladik. Chunki bugungi kunda Sungrow kompaniyasi dunyoda aynan invertor ishlab chiqaruvchi, faqatgina invertor ishlab chiqaruvchi kompaniyalar va razrabotka bu yo'nalish bo'yicha tadqiqotlar olib borayotgan kompaniyalar bo'yicha birinchi o'rinda turganligi uchun va issiq iqlim sharoitida ishonchli ishlashi uchun Sungrow kompaniyasi bilan shartnoma imzoladik va ushbu kompaniyani invertorlarini O'zbekistonda sentyabr oyidan boshlab sotishni boshlaymiz va hozirgi kunda O'zbekistonning barcha viloyatlarida servis sentrlariga egamiz va ushbu kompaniyaning invertorlariga 5 yildan 10 yilgacha kafolat beramiz. Bundan tashqari kompaniyamiz tomonidan Jizzax, Qarshi shahrida va Chirchiq shahrida har xil shu sohada zavodlar qurilyapti. Misol uchun Chirchiq shahrida noyabr oyida ishga tushadi. O'zbekistonda birinchi quyosh panellari uchun maxsus metall konstruksiya ishlab chiqaradigan zavod. Ishlab chiqarish quvvati yiliga 1 gigavat bo'ladi va polnotsenniy bizda shunda quyosh paneli, invertor va metall konstruksiya eng sifatli mahsulotlardan foydalanib shu dunyo standartlari asosida turadigan 20-30 yil ishlaydigan, demak hech qanaqa ta'mirsiz ishlaydigan ishonchli quyosh stansiyalarini o'rnatishni boshlaymiz. Barchaga e'tibor uchun rahmat. Thank you very much.
Wow, very impressive. Well, 50 megawatt is it's not bad, huh? Congratulations. Yes. So now the next one. Well, I think you talked already, but you spoke already, but just introduce yourself. It's Kazimukan. Kazimukan.
Yes, Karim. Hey, everyone, again. Sorry for the inconvenience with the language before. But we just tried to target like English and Russian speakers, so we decided to have one presentation in Russian language and another one in English. My apologies for that, but we'll be sharing the PDFs later in both languages. So yeah, I'm
just a quick introduction. Yes, just a quick introduction about yourself and the company, what you're doing. Then I go to the next.
Yeah, I'm a technical manager of Jinko Solar Company in Central Asia. Basically, I'm responsible for all the technical related questions, for the calculations, some warranty claims, etc. Everything happens for pre-sales and after sales. Basically, it comes to me.
Okay. Sirimbet.
Yes, hello. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, so just briefly about myself. I'm a director of Soventus Energy. We are working in Uzbekistan market for the past 3 years, and our focus mainly on the mainly our focus on the hybrid projects. Actually, what we are focusing on the is technical solution and providing of equipment for the hybrid projects. That means we are focused on the residential, commercial, industrial projects. So we're kind of providing the technical solution, including design of the project, and also as EPC, we can do the project, the full project itself. So currently, our focus is on the hybrid projects. Hi.
Okay, interesting. Can you tell us more about your the capacity and since when you started?
Okay, I can just tell you briefly about our company kind of history. So firstly, when we entered the Uzbekistan market, our focus was distributing. So what we have done is we distribute mainly solar modules and inverters, starting from 3 kilowatt up to 150 kilowatt inverters and solar modules. Mainly we stick to Jinko Solar. So Jinko Solar is providing very good solar module, and efficiency of the modules is quite high. So why we choose this supplier is because Jinko is focused on the quality and on the higher efficiency, and since it's a leader of the industry, so there's we stick to this company. Besides this, lately we are supplying some ESS solutions. So for ESS, we have very small systems starting from 10 kilowatt hour and high capacity ESS solutions up to megawatt hours. We have experience with 135 kilowatt hour ESS supply and also the support for installation. So regarding the capacity, we have distributed more than 6 megawatt for the module supply, and we are working as EPC, but we are providing very competitive technical solution for the clients that has high capacity stations such like 1 megawatt, 2 megawatts, so up to 10 megawatt projects. We are providing quite attractive technical solution that includes it's not totally EPC, but we are allowing clients to kind of freedom for the equipment, and also we are focused on the design of the project clients. So yeah, maybe I made some confusion, but yeah. So mainly we do everything, but our expertise is to be at the technical side. So what we are focused on, we try to make a technical solution because there are many problems with the grid stability, and grid voltage, and we also try to analyze the client's the power consumption. So we do like technical analysis for the client's loads, so we can monitor the load. Let's say either it's residential, commercial, industrial, and based on this analysis, we are providing a technical solution. So it's so our main focus is a private clients that really needed and the power, or so they really need some alternative for the energy supply. So mainly we are technically or mainly technical company that provides technical solutions.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Very interesting to see. I'm discovering actually the market in Uzbekistan also. So thank you for that. Back to you. It's your turn.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bakhtiar Gaziv, Director of Abrest Energy Engineering. Our company have the good experience about large ground-mounted PV projects, especially on substation, step-up substation area, and connecting to the grid, to the national grid of Uzbekistan, this power plant. And in this sphere, we are working on consulting, designing, and all construction works, testing, commissioning, and the finally consulting to the connection to the grid, taking all approvals to connecting to the grid. These especially large PV projects. We participated as a subcontractor on 100 megawatt PV plant in Navai. It's Mazdar's project. We participated as a subcontractor on the construction main step-up substation, all civil works, installation, testing, commissioning, and connection to the grid, back energizing all moments, and testing, commissioning of PV farm site, especially 35 PV panels and others. We have the local office in Tashkent and also international office in Dubai, and we are working with most of the owners and owners of the projects and other producers. And now we are designing two PV projects in Namangan, 500 megawatt PV project, and in Navai 250 megawatt PV projects. Both of them owner is Tepelen Group. It's directly signed with government. Shortly, it's introduce me and my company. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Very clear. So now let's discuss a little bit about the market. So if my understanding is correct, electricity prices in Uzbekistan are not that high for consumers, right? And so it's very difficult to provide a competitive offer, although prices of solar panels and basically LCOE of solar has decreased a lot. If ultimately the power sector is subsidized through a subsidy of the gas, then it's very difficult, right, to compete against a subsidized energy. So my question to you, and we can start with Elmurad, but please, everyone, I guess that's a key point for everyone here. How do you make it competitive? Number one, and number two. So, what is the regulation basically? What is a regulation to make it competitive, or there is no regulation; it's already competitive. And what are the, I would say, key regulations which are missing, and that you would like to see to have a more dynamic market and a growing, an acceleration of the growth. So maybe we can start with Elmurad, and everyone feel free to answer also.
Thank you. Firstly, I want review our tariff politic, and we have the three type tariff. I mean, three group. First is first group differential tariff, which connected capacity 75 kilovolt and above. It's commercial industrial, I mean CIN. There is have three tariffs. Half peak, it's about 3.75, and peak time it's about 5 and 6 dollar cent. I mean, and night about 2.5 dollar cents. And second group, it's single tariff for commercial industrial, which capacity below 750 kilowatt. It's about 3.75 dollar cent. And group 3, it's residential consumers. It's less than 3 dollar cents. And but in last 2 years in Uzbekistan also have good politics to accelerating and improving these solar PV projects, especially small rooftop and small projects for industrial and commercial. And last of them, in regulatory, we President signed it to about 1,000 sum, Uzbek sum. It's meaning 8.3 cent for kilowatt hour. But for this tariff have another requirements, but and metering system also will be adapted for these tariffs, especially for half peak and night times. But anyway, if we will, if government will be want and accelerate this process, the tariff also, I mean, green tariff also will be good for consumers and investors.
Okay, anyone want to add? El Murad, I tried to ask you the question, but I don't know if are you hearing me or are you still there?
Okay, Mr. Kerem, I want to a little additional for Bakhtiar again. I want to speak in Uzbek language, and our colleague Sunadan is talking about in English, translate in English. In additional to the Bakhtiar have for government organizations is about 1,000 for kilowatt. It is only government organizations. It's a special tariff. Besides them, for residential houses, if additional power generation, we can sell to government. Also for 1,000 sum, it's about $9. İşte ne? Shuna gana aytayın, shu davlat korxonalari tomonidan 1000 so'mdan to'lanadi. Bundan tashqari aholi tomonidan quyosh panellari o'rnatsa, ortiqcha energiyani davlatga 1000 so'mdan sotishi mumkin.
Yes, the regulation is like this. For example, right now, this only physical. The people who have this solar at home, then they can sell to government, and then the government can buy it for 1,000.
Aholi agar so'nggi panel o'rnatsa, ehtiyojidan olib qismini 1000 so'mdan sotib oladi.
Yes, for example, if the consumption of this one home, for example, if it's full, for example, is fully provided if the solar, and then they can additionally they sell to government, and then the government will pay for every kilowatt for 1,000 sum. That's a regulation. And then, yeah, as far as I know, this even they have some offers from people that even people they have enough space and then they don't want to use it, just only they want to sell it. Because we have this kind of offers, because I work in sales department, and then through the call center the people are calling and then they are asking this only, they just want to earn money, not for consumption. That's why they want to set up this solar inventor. And yeah, it's like we think that will be one business maybe in Uzbekistan. People can earn money.
So the regulatory framework today, you think is appropriate? The prices, etc., they are fine, or you think there are some? What are the main constraints today? You mentioned that you would have the capacity to develop 100 megawatt per month, if I'm correct, when I see your presentation, which is a very big, a big step, right? And so, what is missing to reach this stage? Is it only capital deployment and the regulatory is fine? Is it clients which are still not sure about how to, develop solar, or why doing that, or there are more, other issues?
You're on mute.
Mr. Elmerod, your mic is turned off. If you could switch it on.
Yeah, the Mr. Elmot was talking Uzbek language. That's why we just the microphone was off. He's telling that we have several issues actually in Uzbekistan, for example, right now, because the solar, especially this, the people right now don't understand how efficient it is, how beneficial it is. That's why, and then through the system also we have problems, issues, and as this sphere is developing in Uzbekistan, the recent years, it's only 1-2 years since. That's why, as you told us, the Karim, the awareness of this solar is also the problem in Uzbekistan. That if you talk to people, this just the most questions they ask is like how to use it, and then why it is beneficial, or why should I use it, and then some of people don't think that's good enough for capacity of at home for home. And they have misunderstanding also. That's why we are trying to solve this problem.
Asosiy muammo shu O'zbekistonga kirib kelayotgan komponentlarni, quyosh paneli invertorlarini tekshiruvchi sifatini, laboratoriya va qo'shimcha talablar yo'qligi hozirgi. Shuning uchun biz korxona faqatgina shu butun dunyo tan olgan sifati tekshirilgan shu Jinko Sangro kompaniyalari bilan hamkorlik qilyapmiz. O'zbekistonda o'rnatilayotgan quyosh stansiyalarini sifatini maksimalni oshirish maqsadida.
Yes. There are lots of companies or the mini companies and then quality of these companies are not good enough. For example, right now, lots of companies are setting up the panels and the inverters, but the quality of these panels and the inverters are not good enough. Most of them are bad. And then people don't know about that, what kind of panel or solar is good quality or what is a bad quality. That's why our company. Yeah, because in the border or in the check from the government in import, there is no any regulation or checking. For example, by the government. For example, by the government, there is no any checking or laboratory. For example, of testing how this, for example, how the quality is or how it uses the usage of this, and then there isn't. And that's one of the biggest problem as well in Uzbekistan. That's why our company is trying to work with the good quality products and then good brands and then good companies. That's why we're trying to work it, because if we work like this, the efficiency of the solar in the places in Uzbekistan will be very bad, because as the quality is bad and then as the brand is not working, it will not work, and then we will face the next 3 or 2 years big problems. That's why we are trying to work with the good brands and then good quality.
Okay, Ola, what's your view on that? I mean, what's a typical project in Uzbekistan actually? Is it you sell to the grid? Is it self-consumption? If it's self-consumption, how do you compete against the grid? Is there any regulatory for that? If it is selling to the grid, then it's basically renting space, right? And that's it. So can you elaborate on that?
Yes, definitely. So basically, right now, most of the projects are using, or which are already installed, are using a grid connection. However, I think from my side that adding energy storage for the mean stage or the current stage of the grid situation will be more beneficial because there are frequent outages uh, from the grid side, and definitely on-grid inverters will also have problems with the abnormal grid behavior. So, to ensure stability and to be able to support further from renewable energy perspective, I believe energy storage systems will be required also in this phase. And then for the second stage, once the grid is more stable and the quality of the grid is more improved, then definitely there will be on-grid PV systems. For the meantime, Uzbekistan has a lot of incentives programs. There are incentives programs for the residential systems, 2 to 3 kilowatt. So there is incentives from the Ministry of Energy and Uzbekistan government, up to 30% for their residential systems owners. And there's another regulation also. So the country is pushing towards the residential and the commercial industrial range as well on grid systems. So also there's another decree that was recently launched also by Uzbekistan government to cover at least 50% of each commercial rooftop with solar. And also another decree or regulation came out that those solar systems installed on commercial or governmental systems or buildings will be exempted from taxes. So that actually opens a huge business growth for us as Sungrow.
But is it a capex model? Is it a capex model? Because you see, for example, residential, you said that there is a subsidy, right, of up to
Yes.
30%. So basically, it's me. I want a solar rooftop, so a solar system. So I go to Sungrow or whatever, and there is some kind of mechanism whereby 30% of this cost is supported by the government. That's fine.
Correct.
But then if I'm in industry, what's the model? Should I be off-grid today? If is it mostly off-grid, or do you have on-grid system? And if they are on-grid, is it more a capex model where you have an incentives to buy for your own consumption, or is there any or it's preferred to sell electricity to the grid? What's the model today?
All right, sure. So if you ask me, Kareem, right now for the current grid situation with the frequent outages, I would propose hybrid system. So it's on-grid system plus backup. And us as Sungrow, we already support that. It will work as a normal on-grid system. And in case of grid outages, we will operate in hybrid mode. So we will use backup. And I think this model is the best because right now, especially for residential, the government is pushing, and as I mentioned, giving incentives. And also the government is not capping each customer by the maximum load. So for example, in some other regions, the governments actually cap according to your total connected load. You cannot exceed it in terms of installation. But in Uzbekistan, no, the government is actually encouraging to install as much as you can. And also when you inject back to the grid in terms of net metering, that's why I also advise and encourage the net metering situations, not maximum self-consumption, it's net metering. Because once they sell back to the grid, also the government is giving incentives. So they will buy electricity from you, I believe, for the residential up to 3 times higher than the selling price. So this, I would say, is the best model, hybrid systems between on-grid and battery backup.
Thanks. Sirimbet, what's your market? Tell us more about the market you are addressing today. Is it more agriculture? Is it more industry? Is it more capex model? Is it more net metering? What are your typical projects, or the 3 or 4 types of projects that you are coming across mostly?
Yes, so we are focused on not only the commercial industrial, we also focus on the residential. So we have some residential projects where we use hybrid systems with the batteries. The battery we supply is mainly LFP, so it's high voltage and the high cost batteries with long-term life. So this is our model for the residential, for the hybrids. For the commercial, we work with some industries like textile industry, and some the multi-business industries, like they have different business like agricultural production of some plastics or some equipment. So it's different. It's different like project to project, and usually we do this full analysis. So before we propose our proposal, or just we cannot just go there and just propose some technical solution. We have to do a whole analysis, including the load analysis, and then find out the type of the loads and the time when they have these power outages, um, and some other information from the project, like whether rooftop or the land project. So yeah, we have checklists that we usually use for the clients, that we need to collect the data, and then we do analysis, and then based on that provide technical solution. But I just want to answer to your question about the subsidies. So as Mr. Bakhtiyor and Mr. Remirot mentioned about the price of energy, so the price of energy is quite low in Uzbekistan. If in order to develop this the high cost hybrid projects, the energy should be higher, but the 50% of the energy is subsidized by the gas. So the gas that comes from the government is 50% subsidized. That means the regional electrical companies or the grid company, the national grid company, they are dependent on the subsidy, and they cannot make their own kind of business model and then make profit. So that means it's not really a market regulated um, market. So I think that maybe in the future the government should focus on how to try to regulate change the market based on the market like a market structure, in Europe or like in the US. But this will take some time, because this is the roots that came is like from the previous centuries, right? So that system was all subsidized. There is no real cost. So when the regional electric company calculates their own cost, that they found out that actually they don't make any profit. So if they cannot make their own profit, then that means that how they can pay for the energy, or how can they pay for even for the solar systems that is, should be installed for their buildings or for the government buildings. So I think that this should be more market regulated in the future, and the price of energy should be increased. Unfortunately, but this has to be happen due to investment into the big projects in Uzbekistan, and that means that the energy should be paid back. That means the price cost should be higher, should be increased from the existing level. Sorry, I think you're.
Is everyone aware of such a discussion happening with IFC? DFIs like IFC, ADB, etc. They kind of try to support the acceleration of the energy transition, and obviously the subsidy of fossil fuel is a key element, which is which is how should I say, slowing down the changes. So ultimately such discussions, often happen when they discuss with the government about restructuring the energy sector. At the same time, it's a political situation, right? Because if you can't increase also the prices, if you don't want to have people in the street, right, and start to, and they're not happy with that. So, do you know if what's the situation of this discussion? And anyone knows about that?
So I heard that there is discussions on the price increase, but when this will happen. Yeah, it's not yet known. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if someone knows, they can share this information. But this is what I heard.
And Murad, I'm sure you know. And Murad, I'm sure. Back to you guys. You should know.
Yes, I want to say about grid connection regulation. We have the Cabinet Minister's Decree 610 about regulation for connection to the unified electric power system of business entities and produce electric energy, including from renewable energy sources. In this regulation, have the step-by-step all works must done before designing and during construction and connection to the grid. In this regulation wrote like this, less than 20 kilowatt solar projects before designing, they must do a power allocation study and grid impact study. These studies must be approved from regional dispatching center and national dispatching center, and then after approving this study, they will give technical requirement to the connection to the grid. This regulation is not working for small projects, especially less than 1 megawatt projects. But above the 1 megawatt projects, without this power allocation study and grid impact study, you cannot start designing works, and you cannot connect to national grids or regional grids of power grid system. In this study, we are studying these regions electric regimes, N-1 regimes, current regimes, and also transmission lines, overloaded regimes, all things. So I want to say to Ms. Ola also say about the stability of these the regions. If you want install and if you want design the above 20 kilowatt projects, you must do like these studies and take the requirements. And in this requirement, maybe we'll wrote especially for equipment, PV or inverter or another equipment. So I mean some requirements for this equipment, and then the system of this regional system will be more stability and will be work higher. I won't say about this regulation. We have this regulation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. And Kazim Khan, tell us. So, what's the market today? Where do you see the market in Uzbekistan today, and where is it tomorrow? Again, same question. What about mining, for example? What about the big industries, or is it more residential, or is it more small businesses? Is it more upgrade? Is it more on-grid? And where do you see the future?
So yeah, as you know, the government made everyone made it compulsory to install PV systems, right? Like we have sometimes via some partners in Uzbekistan, we know that even some small pharmacies are required to install PV systems, 5 kilowatt. As for now, what we see is probably mostly it's on-grid systems, and most of the orders coming either from the utility scale projects, and so what we think the market is a little bit. Yeah, you're right. They started late, but they started really fast, and maybe too fast because they're missing some, advisories or maybe consultancies on the quality and like the way how it should be installed and everything like inputted into the grid, because you can have too much solar sometimes as well, because during the daytime, if they just keep the same pace, maybe like they can overfeed the grid during the daytime generation. So what we think like the next step for that market, and pretty much for the Central Asian market, will be implementing more and more CNI utility scale ESS, like energy storage systems, which can actually provide like some frequency control, voltage controls, and peak shavings, this type of stuff. But yeah, it's the market's still at the very beginning.
Okay, I see that we have we reached the limit, the time limit. So let's conclude. So maybe we can answer a few questions, but to be fair, I don't read them. I don't know where they are. They're here, but I haven't listed them. So maybe can you help, Ala?
Sure.
Are there any questions that you see that we can address to the panel, or we just conclude?
We can address a few questions. I will just screen the questions here,
Okay.
and we can take them. So I'll just screen the question. So, I request our speakers to please take this question, whomsoever has the specialty in this specific area.
Hi, Ahla. I think this was already covered during our panel's discussion. So we spoke already about the small
Yes.
PV cell. Yeah. If we can move to another one as well.
Yeah. This one we covered it.
Okay, a question from Levan regarding the requirements for inverters. Can you share more details? Thank you, Levan, for your question. I have shared my email, so you can email me the kind of details you require, whether it's certification requirements or technical data sheets. Please feel free to drop me an email. Question for Sangra. The market share of Sangra in Uzbekistan, what is the warranty? So, as we mentioned, Uzbekistan is a new market for us, and we recently signed with Sun High Tech, as Mr. Murad have already presented. So, it's still a new market for us. However, we do have shares in the utility scale, but for the CNI, it's still we're still developing it. Product warranty. So our CNI inverters warranty, it's a standard of 5 years, and we can extend it according to the customer requirements. For the replacement process, please feel free to drop me an email to share with you more details. Thank you.
I believe that's it for the questions.
We had more, but no worries. I'll just cover it quickly from my side because I think some people are sharing on the chat box. Some people are sharing on the questions and answers. I requested them to be in one place, but no problem. So I'll quickly just cover the question. For some, okay. For Krishnan, Sangra grid compliance, okay, of our inverters. So basically, we are compatible for Krishnan with different type of grids configurations, and we are following IEC standards. So it's a European standards which Uzbekistan is also following for the products compliance and certification scheme. Okay, and I believe that's it mainly. Rest of the questions was shared as well on the Q&A section.
Yes.
Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that concludes the Q&A session. A big thank you to our esteemed speakers for this wonderful session. Thank you to the audience. We have now come to the end of the virtual event. Very special thanks to Mr. Kareem for superbly managing the session. And a
Thank
big
you.
shout out to our attendees for extending their valuable time. Special thanks to our partners, Jinko Solar and Sungo, for their immense support to organize this event. We promise you all to come back soon with more exciting sessions. The floor is now open for networking. Thank you all.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.